How many banks have you robbed, Edie?
You get right to it.
How we doing?
Doing great.
Yeah.
It's been a fun 2 days.
Yes. I want to start with a bit of, I think, trivia that, Shawn, you were telling me in the lobby.
Oh.
Is it true, Samara, that you did not know how to drive prior to the film? And what is the story behind this?
She lied in the interview.
I
Lied to get the job.
Yeah, I just fully lied and said I can absolutely drive, no problem, don't even worry about it. And then got the job and then really freaked out. Quickly called Melrose Driving School, shout out, and a soldier named Adam taught me how to drive. And next minute I'm like surrounded by stunt drivers and they are the best in the world and they're like teaching me how to do donuts and controlled slides and I'm just going, yeah, no, this is so easy for me.
I love how you talk about the line in the roads thing, which was...
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a reason why you learn how to drive at 15 when your brain isn't fully developed. Because at 30 years old, I'm going, how come the only reason my car isn't touching another car is because paint is on the ground and there's like lights flashing. That's the only reason. We're all just like, oh, it'll be fine. What? Anyway.
Intrusive thoughts could take over, I guess. So would you two get in a car with Samara now?
Yeah, I think so.
Carl had to.
I had to.
And what was your experience, Carl?
Oh, wait.
Well, when I get in the car with Sam, there's a man on top of the car also sort of controlling it. So, and he's a really good driver. But, I trust Sam. I trust you.
So the takeaway is always lie on your resume.
Yep.
Always.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Now, Shawn, you've worked in TV, but this is your first feature. So what made you want to tell this story now? And also, what were some of your major influences going into Eenie Meanie?
When I pitched for the job, it was Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. We were in a meeting with 20th. I had written the script, and suddenly, we were talking about, I think Paul had said, like, who's David O. Russell but does car chases, kind of thing. And that's a hard thing that doesn't exist. And we talked about it a long time, and suddenly Paul Wernick out of the blue says, let him do it. And I was not, I'd worked on Wayne, and by the end of the process, a lot of people were going like, you're going to direct, right? As a showrunner, they were like, you're pretty picky about everything from buttons on shirts to hair and music and every, script and everything. So I started to think about it, but didn't take it seriously. And then Paul Wernick very quickly made me take it very seriously when he offered me up as director of the movie. And I went off and did a pitch deck 2 weeks later. And the funniest movie is just kind of as far as inspiration and what was going to make, and I think everything I make has these things in it, which was The Apartment, Before Sunset, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Step Brothers.
Yes.
And if you kind of look at that movie and look at my TV show, you're like, oh yeah, I see a little bit of that and everything. So yeah, those are the things that kind of influence this movie. And I kind of always take a kind of genre shell and push. My mother raised me on terms of endearment and ordinary people. Mm-hmm. And my dad raised me on Conan the Barbarian and Death Wish.
Yes.
So you kind of push that through what I was raised in, which is indies, 90s stuff, and you kind of get, this thing.
Yeah, you got some backup in here, I heard it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sam, when we meet Edie in her adult life, her day kicks off getting pistol whipped and finding out she's pregnant. And then it just kind of keeps going from there. She really can't catch a break. So how do you approach someone that's just constantly being tested from the start? And what was your kind of favorite aspects of this character?
I mean, she's so tough and funny and gritty. And I mean, Shawn just wrote such a great character. I just fell in love with her on the page. I think what she almost is the audience's perspective in the movie, because she just encounters all these insane people and it's trying to make the right choice, but is human and, loves this dingling. So, it might make some questionable ones, but it was just a joy. And Shawn just made my job so easy because I didn't have to do much. It was just on the page, I was just excited to do it.
Yeah, and you mentioned the dingling, which is John. We meet him, I mean, in quite a vulnerable way. He's nude and getting his ass beat.
Yes.
My dream date, cute. At what point in filming was that scene? And
Fairly early. It was cold. It was cold. I swear it was cold.
sure.
No, it was. What was that, week 2, 3?
Yeah, it was.
It was early on. We had Randall Park first. We sort of started with Randall. It was very cold. It's always when I have the least amount of costume on. The weather sort of you can predict it that way. It'll be the opposite of whatever your costume is.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, it wasn't even a shut down set. You know, we had him completely naked running.
Yeah,
out of
make it
that
a party.
building. Yeah.
You know?
And there was,
That was like a block party. It was just the whole project. They didn't lock anything off. There's this Instagram account called This Is Cleveland where you can post strange and bizarre events in Cleveland. And at a certain point, people on their balconies were reporting this crazy white boy running through their neighborhood with no clothes on and also like no penis because it's like there's like a cover up thing.
Yeah.
So there's he has no
penis.
because I'm a human Ken doll. In that situation.
that's why I hired him.
But how did you strike that balance? Because he is, you know, he gets into all these I mean, how many days a week do you think John is like in a pickle?
I think how many days in a week are there?
I believe there are 7. Could be 8. I don't know.
I'd say 8 days a week he's in trouble.
25/8.
Yeah, you know, but the thing is, I think that he's never dismayed by the trouble. I think it's like a stray dog that you know can't really think more, you know, like more than like 2 minutes at a time. You know, it's sort of, and then it's like resets. You see, you know, he's like, his life is threatened. Haitian Tim is gonna rip his bones out through his skin, and then 2 seconds later, he's like sucking on his fingers, eating Frito-Lays, being like, "What are we gonna do about this?" He's just very much in the moment. It's really how I approached it.
Yeah, and there is something like very beautiful about the relationship that you want to root for. How was your relationship similar or different from Edie and John's? How was your relationship on the set?
How was our relationship?
How was it?
was-
What did you fight about?
It was awesome. Well, what did we fight about? It was mostly like Sam being like, that's how you're gonna play it? Really? Like that? Are you sure about that? No, she was the best. We spent a lot of time in that car together, and if you don't get along with someone, that can be a very hard job. And Sam was always very supportive. You know, and despite, no matter what was going on in my personal life, Sam was always there, always had my back. And she's very easy on the eyes. So for me, it was great.
I just was nice to him because he has a really cool dog.
I get that, yeah. What kind of dog?
A beautiful, is it a husky?
She's a mutt.
She's a
Okay.
big old, she's not a mutt, she's gorgeous. A husky, she's
Kate Moss of
beautiful.
dogs.
Yeah, she's stunning.
Stunner. We talked about the nude scene kind of running around and the public could see it. So the pivotal heist scene is in a casino, but I was reading that it was an active casino, and it's, I believe, really hard to get people off a slot machine. So like, what was that?
Yeah.
I was just in Vegas. I mean, I get it, but
There were 2 things in the script that, you know, you always write stuff in scripts to, you know, amaze them and make them buy it. And then you think, I'm going to have to change this later. There's no way. So the casino was one of them. The other one was the ending where she kills him. It was like, we're doing this for 20th Disney. There's no way they're letting me keep this ending, but bravo to 20th for sticking with it. The casino, every day of that month, moving towards the casino, I kept going, I'm going to have to rewrite this. Everybody turned us down. We went to this place, Hollywood, Toledo Casino. And yeah, every single,
lost a lot of money at that place.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I never been there.
It was a live casino the whole time we were shooting. Half of the casino was still open, and we were ripping a car through there. They had to change out some crazy super, you know, electric thing because of the, you know, carbon dioxide and all that. But there was like old ladies, you know, 100 feet away
Hitting the
doing
kitty glitter.
slots
Yeah.
as we ripped through. Yes, and winning. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. Every day we were getting closer. I'm like, we're going to change this. We're going to change this. But they were game the whole time. And yeah, we got to do that thing, you know, that no one does much.
That thing no one does much.
Yeah.
You mentioned the pivotal scene where Edie makes the decision to kill our buddy over here, and it was so heartbreaking because I just want to hear kind of what the thought process was that you guys discussed with the characters in that moment, because with John it was like you could feel like he felt like he was doing this hero moment, and you're just like, damn it, John, come on, man. So what were the discussions that you two had about what that moment was, what he was thinking, and his thought process?
So that was actually kind of a nerve-wracking scene for me. I felt like, for the most part, it was all really straightforward for me as far as what my job was in this movie. And then when it got to that scene, you know, you don't necessarily think the way your character thinks, and to get into the mindset of, okay, we're here feeling this way now, and then I'm going to make this decision, then I'm going to realize this, and like, it felt like a lot of twists and turns in a very short amount of time. It felt like a complicated sort of, logic to follow. And I remember we had a green room where they, stick some of the actors before the scene, and I opened it up to the forum. I was looking at Jermaine Fowler and Chris Bauer saying, guys, I literally don't know what to do. We're about to shoot this scene. And I'm not joking. Like, I'm really kind of not sure how to do this. And Chris Bauer said, are you asking me? And I said, yeah, I'm asking you. Like, what do I do? I forgot how to act right now. And he said, well, why don't you just like play it moment by moment? And it was this like sort of like duh moment, like that's the way life is, and it's sort of acting 101, and I kind of forgot that. So, and I just played it moment by moment, and played off of what Sam was giving me, and then let her do her thing, because it was also, she had a lot of heavy lifting in that scene, and I want to like give your actor space.
Yeah, what sticks out to you about filming that scene, Sam?
There's a lot of sun in my eyes that day. I just remember going, I'm going to be really squinty in this one. Yeah, that was my biggest
the biggest takeaway. But then, it's like after that, we see the smile on her face, and I'm like, finally, what were the conversations about kind of her post-life after this moment?
You mean after she...
Yeah, because then we see that happens, and then we see her, and I'm like, God, she smiles, and I'm like, okay, that's a girl who's going to be all right. I hope.
Yeah. Or just a maniac.
Yeah, or that. The sequel.
Like, that felt good. It's a serial killer movie.
That moment was beautiful. I mean, we played it a bunch of different ways with you in the window there. I think that's what you're pointing towards.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And there is a very kind of, I'm not sure about it. There's some regret in your eyes. Right. I always felt her looking up to the stars and like John had always said. That was, we had like a lot of footage of that, and that little moment you did, which wasn't so certain about the future, but had everything in front of her to some degree that she needed, but still, he's always going to be up there, which I thought was so beautiful.
I just love that it's really a love story between her and Baby Girl.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
It's like them two were meant to be together. That's my favorite.
It was, and she scored so high on the Baby Girl that we had to come back and give her more.
Yeah.
I mean, in the previews, it was just like through the roof. They loved her, and she's great. Fantastic.
Yes. I want to shout out the ensemble. It's so stacked. Marshawn Lynch, amazing. Randall Park, Steve Zahn, Andy Garcia. I want to point out the Randall Park one, though, because in my mind, you see someone you recognize, and you're like, okay, I'm locking into this guy. He's going to be there for the long haul. And then it's just boom, blood spatter. And it was like this kind of great tone between, I think maybe you mentioned kind of striking this tone between the heist and the thriller and the comedy. But can you talk to me a little bit about that moment? Because it caught me off guard and also made me laugh.
Yeah, there's fun to be had in a movie where a guy shows up that you think that guy's fucking amazing. He's going to be in this whole movie.
Yep, I locked into him. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then my son, the first time he saw the movie, he doesn't, it takes a lot with these kids on the computer all day to be moved by anything. And that happened, and he popped up in the couch and goes, what the fuck? Yeah. He goes, that guy was just in the movie for 10 minutes and he's fucking dead? He was completely shocked by the whole thing. And it is you want more Randall, no doubt, but it's worth it.
I also found it was kind of brilliant with the Steve Zahn character. Like, he's another person that's very recognizable to me, and he is nameless in the movie. His name is Dad, so
Right.
it's like that was also, stuck out to me as a thing because her relationship with her dad is obviously quite complicated.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on my TV show and this and everything I write, I realized I tend to write about orphans a lot of the time, and coming from Brockton, Massachusetts, where she ends up at the end of the movie. If anybody noticed, on this screen you can notice, no one's going to see it on the TV screen, but she ends up in my hometown, which is a tough town where we fought every weekend, and I watched my dad get in fights on the hockey rink. And when you meet other people from Massachusetts and you tell them you're from Brockton, they go, "Oh, how's that?" So yeah, I love writing about blue collar people like that. They're not only colorful, but it's a place where especially Irish, there's a lot of Irish people there, and so this tone of mixing heartbreak and comedy, the funniest people at a funeral is what I always say.
Yes.
And it isn't such a foreign thing to me, so it feels, people are like, "Oh, how do you do that tone?" I'm like, I don't, like, it kind of feels like my life. We were poor as shit. I didn't know that we were on the verge of losing everything all the time, that we never had new school shoes, that we had government cheese in the fridge and powdered milk, because my family was laughing.
Yes.
And so I think that really is a big part of the recipe of this. I would say we're working with the same ingredients, all of us, but I think that, like, Wayne and this, if I look, it has strange measurements of those ingredients, and it's because of that.
Yeah.
How do we do all those things in one movie with, laughing, crying, thrills, and you can.
Yeah.
There might be a little thread of tonal whiplash here and there, but, hopefully, it doesn't take you off the ride.
No, it's great. It's great. I want to circle back quick to that Randall Park blood spatter moment, because it felt like, to me, as a huge Ready or Not fan, like a subtle nod to that. And I'm curious if that was intentional, and also, I guess, significantly less blood than the Ready or Not scene. But I'd just love to hear a little bit more about
I fully
that.
thought that maybe this movie I wouldn't have blood on me, but
It's kind of your thing. Yeah.
I had to have a little bit, no?
That's a great moment. There you go. If you were up close on Randall Park at that moment in the street, it was the most disgusting. Up close, it was like a whole bag of, like, bloody yogurt on the ground, and it was, like, hard to look at with his head laying down. But
Oh my God.
yeah, it was worse on the ground than on her face.
How many takes?
Oh.
I think we have to do one because we'd have to reset, no?
Yeah, I don't think we did it.
You guys smashed it.
Yeah, I think it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Samara, you have Ready or Not, Eenie Meanie. What's the third children's game title that you would love to do?
Someone said this the other day. I've never put two
Don't
and
Wake
two
Daddy.
together. Yeah, what's the... I know, right? I know, yeah. What's the next one? Well, Hopscotch, the musical or something.
Which ends with blood spatter all over your face. Of all the quintessential heist roles, there's like hacker, muscle, getaway. What else is there? The brains, I guess. Which role do you think you would be the best at in real life, and why?
The driver. I actually beat our stunt guys at the go-kart track twice.
But not the driving.
Not the drivers, but I would have no qualms challenging them. I might lose, but I'm so down.
You gonna let him take that title?
Yeah, his dog is cool.
Fair.
I don't know what I'd be. What would I be? I don't know. Cool and steady?
Yeah.
I think I'd be the when you distract them. You know what I mean?
distractor?
I'd be like the
distractor.
yeah, I'd be
distraction.
like, look over here, and then be like, Shawn, go. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I love that that's a whole job.
the distractor.
The distractor.
You need a distractor. Bring in the distractor.
Yeah, I'll do little bits.
Yeah.
You know, do little
A type
bits,
5.
You know, yeah.
People who are actors who come in and,
The distractors, man.
seduce the person or, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, that's.
You're in. I can't believe my next movie, The Distractor.
There you go.
All I can think of is Steve Zahn and Out of Sight. when I think of me in a high stakes situation. Like, I don't know if you guys know that movie well, but he just fucking melts through the whole movie. It's like, I don't know, man, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's me. So whatever his job was, I don't know what his job was. He knew about a crime and brought him into it. I'm the guy who brings you into the crime. And then when you fucking make it bloody, I fucking fall apart.
Okay, well,
that's me.
I think I'm gonna. No offense, but you're not coming on the heist that I'm planning.
Don't bring me on that.
I hope that's okay. Before I end it here, I just want any final thoughts on. I mean, the movie is out in a couple of days. How are we feeling? What do you hope audiences take away?
No, I think now that you've seen it, I think that the goal was, we're going into a thing we think is a popcorn movie, and it's a lot of thrills and car chases, but you get a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I just hope people enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. Yeah.
The final word with Carl.
I love you all.
Aww.
Loser.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. The movie is out August 22nd. It's on Hulu, Disney Plus on Hulu. Enjoy it. Tell your friends. And also, this will be up on ScreenRant.com. Please share it so we can do more events like this and give them another round of applause while they take their exit here. Thank you, everybody,
guys.
so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.